are you guys today? I first want to say thank you for all of your comments on my last video, which was a vlog, and you guys seem to really enjoy that kind of content, so I plan to make more of those videos in this upcoming year. I didn't mean to be gone for like 4 weeks off my channel, but I was. And I'm just kind of here to explain why. If you don't follow me on Instagram, you probably don't know anything or what's going on. First of all, I have had this cold for the last like month. I got it right before Christmas, tested negative for COVID, and it lasted like 2 weeks. And then I was okay for a few days, and then I got it again. So I feel like I'm finally on the tail end of the second round of colds, but as so many of you guys are experiencing, I'm sure, it just keeps getting passed on from one family member to the other. Like my kids have been sick off and on for the last 2 months too, and it feels like it never ends. It's just that time of year when everybody just exchanges germs. We're 10 days into January, and it's been a really challenging month for my family. In the end of December, my grandparents were coming home from Wyoming visiting some family, and my dad ended up meeting them halfway, at a halfway point, to bring them back here to Colorado where we live. And while they were eating in a restaurant, my grandpa fell. And this wasn't his first time falling. You know, you get to a certain age and it's kind of inevitable and it happens. But usually he falls and he's fine. And this time is different. My dad took them home. He was in a lot of pain, but he ended up going to sleep. So the next morning, my parents asked if I could go over there and check in on him. So I drove over there. He was in a chair, he was eating breakfast, and he was in a lot of pain. Like mentally he was there, you know, he was fine if he wasn't in pain. But he had actually started getting dementia in the last year or so, and it was kind of progressing as well. So little things he would forget, or he wouldn't like remember certain people, or he wouldn't remember like where he was, or little things like that. My grandpa is a fighter. He's from New York, if that tells you anything. For those of you that are watching that are from New York, you guys have a stereotype in your home state, you know, you guys are fighters. My grandpa's always been that way. He's always been hard-headed and stubborn and doesn't accept help from anybody type of person. And so the fact that he was not able to get up from that chair that morning when I came over was a huge indicator that, you know, something was wrong with him and that he needed to be taken to the hospital. So we waited for his other son to show up, because my dad was working that day, so his other son had to drive from Wyoming to come. And as soon as he got there, my grandpa was like, I'm ready to go to the hospital. My grandpa's never said that, so we knew it was serious, and we thought maybe he had broken something like a rib or a bone, or maybe like punctured an organ or something, because he was just in such extreme pain when he would like barely move. So we called the paramedics. They came and they took him to the hospital, and they loaded him up in the back of the ambulance, and my uncle ended up following them over there. And we thought, you know, they're gonna run a few tests, they're gonna see what's wrong, but you know, he'll be in recovery here pretty soon. Well, it progressed really, really quickly, and it was like the first night or the second night that he was there, he started to get violent with the nurses. He thought he was at his house, he didn't know he was at the hospital, so they ended up having to like restrain him. And he just started going downhill from there, basically. And I mean, within 3 days, he was like not responding. I never got to go to the hospital because the first 2 days he was there, they were allowing like 3 visitors, but then they had to crack down on like the 4th day because of COVID restrictions. So they were only allowing 1 guests per day. So I was taking my grandma to the hospital to go see him. But I never got to go inside or see him at the hospital. But my mom went one day and FaceTimed us. And I didn't even recognize him. So on January 2nd, they told us that he was gonna have to go to hospice the next day. My dad and grandma ended up going to the hospital that day, the day that they said they were gonna take him to hospice the next day. And they were able to hold his hand and pretty much say goodbye to him. And my grandma told him, you know, let go, it's okay, stop fighting this. He was still trying to get out of bed. He was still trying to come home. And they were like, just let it go. Like, just let go. He was pretty much drowning in his own fluid. He had congestive heart failure, and there was so much liquid in his lungs and it just kept coming in. They were like, the nurses and doctors were like pumping it out, but it was still forming, and there was just so much. So if we hadn't had taken him in, he probably would have like drowned to death in his own fluid. So it worked out the way it was supposed to, but they were able to say goodbye to him. And it was about 20 minutes later, I was sitting in the living room with my mom and my sister's fiance, and we got a call from an unknown number. We knew it was the hospital, and my mom answered it, and they informed us that he had passed away. That was right after they said they were gonna put him into hospice. So he died that day. And then my mom had to call my dad and grandma and let them know. I think that was like the hardest part. I just can't imagine that. I mean, it hurts so much, him being my grandpa. I can't imagine it being a parent, you know. And to be honest, this is the first person that I've lost that's really, really close to me. And I know I'm like really blessed to be able to say that, because I'm 31 and this is the first experience like this for me. But it's so confusing navigating it. There's so many emotions, and it was just so quick and unexpected. Like, I never would have known that those are my last moments with him. So yeah, it's been a little over a week now, and we've been taking turns staying with my grandma. We just want her to feel all the love and support, and she has so many friends in such a great community, and it makes me really happy because she's gonna be taken care of. We miss him a lot, but we are glad that he is not suffering anymore and he's not in pain anymore. And yeah. So I kind of spent all of December in depression, and then January just learning how to navigate this grief and this loss. And yeah, that's where I've been. But I wanted to come on here and like say hi and explain what's been going on. I've wanted to come on here in the last few days, but like I felt like I couldn't because I've already been gone for so long. So I'm journaling last night. I have this new journal. It's called New Mindset Who Dis by Case Kenny. It's a 60-day journal, and they ask you questions. So I wanted to share with you guys what I wrote in it last night. The first question is, fill this box with whatever's on your mind right now. So it's like a free flowing kind of prompt. So I said, I need to get back on social media, but I'm majorly struggling with imposter syndrome. I feel like since I haven't posted in a month, I'm a failure as a creator. But breaks are allowed, and I need to honor that too. Right now I'm so uninspired, but I'm gonna do it anyway. So I'm here. This is my first step to coming back. And then there's another question on here that says, what would make you happier right now? And I said inspiration. But I know it's something that you have to create and cultivate and nurture. it doesn't just fall from the sky. And that's something I have to remind myself of too. Is that we're not always going to feel inspiration or motivation to do the things that we know we're called to do. And I know I'm called to be on this channel and on social media at this point in my life. And obviously there's grace extended because of everything that I've been going through. But at the same time, I don't want to stay in the dark places, and I don't want to go through that and feel alone, because I'm not, you know? So many messages. You guys have sent me so many messages, and so many of you have experienced such tremendous loss. But it's been comforting to like know that I'm not alone, and that a lot of the emotions that I've been feeling are normal and what to be expected in this season. And this is the last thing I wanted to share with you. It says, what do you like about your job? And I wrote, inspiring women in any way that I can. I think that's why I also feel like I can't show up right now online, because I want to inspire and be positive, but I'm not feeling those things at all right now. That's where I am. I think oftentimes I can get stuck in not moving forward or doing the things that I know I need to, because I think I need to be like this bright, shining, positive, happy, inspiring light all the time. And it's simply unattainable. And if we can only show up when we're positive, are we really being our authentic selves? Because life is tough and things are thrown our way. And we're always going to have obstacles and things that we have to go through. And I think sharing all of those things is as important as sharing the positive things. My mind doesn't always believe it, because I write this stuff down in my journal and I beat it. But like, I know in my heart of hearts that that's a lie. I don't have to show up only when I'm feeling happy and I feel like I have something to offer. Sometimes we feel depleted and we feel like we don't have anything to offer, and that's okay too. But at the end of the day, we're not alone. And so whatever you're going through today, I want you to know that you are loved, and I love you and appreciate you. Even though I don't feel ready, and I have the imposter syndrome, and I feel like I'm uninspiring, and I feel like you guys don't really want to hear anything I have to say, I'm gonna show up anyway. Because we gotta conquer those doubts and those fears that we have, or else we're not gonna be able to achieve the things we're called to do. So let me know something that you're going through right now in the comments, whether it's something that you're struggling with or something that's been a blessing and been something positive. I would love to hear what's going on in your life, and I'll see you guys in my next video.